All right, insert interesting music here. Interesting intro music, I guess, because I can't do it anymore on YouTube because everybody wants to sue everybody. Today I'm going to talk about a couple things. Finally diagnosing the lights on Gorgar, what's going on with that. I'm going to show you how I tested those, and I'm going to tell you why firepower failed, and guess what? It was my fault. Just keep in mind, please don't take any advice I give as necessarily good. As you see, I fail a lot. I don't know why I make these videos. I make zero money for them. And I don't even know how many people really watch them all that much. But hey, you know what? I guess it's a hobby. So here they are. I want to show you, just as a reminder, on Gorgar, there are some lights out. And they've been out for a while. Let me turn off this light overhead. Get the glare off. At least some of it. There we go. So this one is out. That one is out. That one is out. There's one right there that's out. And then, even though none of them are flashing at this moment, the one behind where it says first should flash when you're playing a game, and it does not. So I have, okay, that's the joy of using your phone and hitting the wrong button, but my phone shoots the best video of everything I have. As I was saying, what was I saying? Shit. Oh my God. Okay, so these lights aren't working. And because I use aftermarket boards, there are some fancy things on them that I can test. But first I want to show you how some of the testing procedures work on this particular machine. I'm not going to go in depth and show you every test available. I'm just going to show you what is needed for this. So to test, let me get the lights back on, even though there's going to be glare. We go inside here, and you see there's manual down, auto up on the middle switch there, and advance on the right, high score reset on the left. I can't even read that. Maybe when diagnostic. Okay, so anyhow, to go into the tests on these old machines, even with the aftermarket boards, they still use the exact same testing procedure. So we switch this to down, and we press advance once. And what that does is it makes everything go basically off. Everything that's controlled is off. When I press this again, that brings us to the display test. And when I switch that middle switch, sorry to keep going up and down, to up into the auto mode, that gets those cycling so we can see if they're working properly. I'm going to quit moving the camera up and down, and then that button to the right that I was pressing, the advance button, I'm going to press it one more time, and that puts us into a mode that tests all of the controlled lamps. So everything that should flash is now flashing. And you can see in the test, no light, no light, no light, no light. But everything else that's controlled is flashing. So I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to open the head and show you how I can test on the board to see if the board itself thinks it's working correctly. Okay, with the back glass out and the head open, I'm going to get in here, and I want to show you something that's important, and we're going to talk about this later. Everything is marked to help me remember where it goes. Yeah, can you see where this is leading, firepower fans? We'll get back to that. So I contacted the manufacturer of this board set, which I love, and their support is the absolute best you can imagine. So he got in touch with me, and he told me a simple test to see if everything is working on the board. And what I do, all I need to do is I need to disconnect the lamp row connectors. And I'm gonna insert a little video or an image here showing what the lamp row looks like, or the lamp matrix looks like on paper, so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. And if you look at it, you know, take a minute and pause on it, you'll see that all of the lights that are not working are in the first row. Well, hey, we've got company. Yeah, he can be a pain when you want to play pinball and he wants to get in the way. Get out of here, fatty. So, anyhow, insert image here. So the simple test that we can do to make sure the board is working correctly is I'm going to disconnect J7 right here. And what this is this is all of the row connectors for the lamps. So there's a row and columns and grounds and power, and we're gonna disconnect the rows here. And you just gotta carefully work that off. Always be careful working on your boards. Try to support them as much as you can. Try not to flex them. And we're going to take that off. So now the next test is to power up the machine and go into test mode. There's our helper. I guess he can sit there for a minute. It's not like we're going to be playing. So let me turn it on. You'll see none of the lamps are flashing. If Fatty would get out of the way. Come on, get down, buddy. Get out of my way. Get. So none of the lamps are flashing. So we're going to go into test mode again. So flip this switch down. Press once. Everything goes dark. Press again. Switch it up. Okay, our displays, my displays are cycling. And I'm going to press this one more time to go into the lamp test. So now all of the lamps are flashing. So we should see all 8 bars for the lamps flashing. And we do. So as far as this machine knows, it's working. So I contacted Jeff, and he sent back one more test to do. I actually had done one test where I ran a jumper from the very right pin, which is pin 1, which corresponds to row 1, and I ran it and connected it to a lamp in the row. If that pin were outputting, I should expect to see that row light up. I made sure my connection was good, I turned it on, and it just would not light. So I contacted the manufacturer, and he sent back and sent me another test to try, and I'm going to show you what that is. So turn it back off. Now, because of my luck with video, it's going to end up working. So each one of these wires controls a row of lights. In this case, the concern is row 1, which goes right here and this very end wire. I can test row 1 by plugging row 9 into it, turning this sideways, making sure I'm only on one pin. Be careful, don't bend anything. And turn the game on. So now all of the lights that are in row 9 normally should be lighting. Now look at that. I told you, see, something's going on here. Because I've done this before and they don't. I knew when I would video something weird would happen. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to wiggle that pin, because I'm wondering if that pin isn't loose. And look at that. That is the problem. Now you see none of those lights are working. So an alternate test that we can do is on that row of lights that has not been working. And we can remove this, flip it over, plug row 1 into row 9. Careful. Turn it on. And will you look at that? Lamps that I've never seen light are now lighting just fine. So, this is actually a problem that I could not have caused. And recognizing it as such, they are such a great company that they are going to fix it for free. So that's the good news. The bad news is firepower. Firepower was entirely my fault. And let me explain why. What I did wrong was I assumed that all of the connectors were correct, in that the little plugs that go in them that stop you from putting them in the wrong spots were in fact in the correct positions and all there. And they weren't. And I ended up crossing, in this machine here it's marked 7 and 8. I put those on the wrong pins. See the black wires? That's the ground. See the wires above that on the one marked 8? Those are positive. Those are hot. So I sent power through the negative and, vice versa. And that's what caused it to fail. So that one's my fault. And that's why I say don't take what I do as the best advice necessarily. Please, if you do this at your own risk. Always understand that. Always understand you can make mistakes. And it happens. So I guess this is about how to screw up and still not give up. So there you go. These boards are both getting pulled out and shipped out today. So no Gorgar play for a little bit till they come back. And usually takes, I don't know, depends on his workload, probably a couple weeks. I'm patient. I'm not impatient. So he's a super nice guy, and I would really, really love to have a chance to talk with him and find out more about his company and how they came about and, why they make the products they make, because there's not many people doing this, and I find that interesting. So hopefully he'll maybe agree to a little chit chat with me, and I can share that with everybody on my channel. So yeah, that's what's going on. That pin is just not connecting. And so I'm going to let them go ahead and take care of it, since I'm already sending one in anyhow. That way it's just done right by the people that make it. And there you go. Cheers.